Hello students, welcome back to the science class. Previous session we have completed unit 3 polymer chemistry. In this session we are going to see about unit 4 chemistry in daily life. Let's see the lesson. Chemistry in daily life. In our day-to-day life, chemical is an important role in our life. Chemical reaction in everyday life. Combustion, rust, digestion, photosynthesis, fermentation, washing, baking. These are the chemical reaction in day-to-day life, everyday life. Let's see one by one. Oral rehydration solution, ORS solution. ORS is a special combination of dry salts that is mixed with safe water. It can help to replace the fluids lost due to diarrhea. In a state of diarrheal disease, there is an imbalance and much more water is segregated than reabsorbed, causing a net loss of the body, which can be as high several liters a day. In addition to water loss, sodium and potassium are also lost. Certain concentration of sodium is needed for proper functioning of the body. For example, only with adequate sodium concentration in the internal wall, water can be absorbed by through a process known as osmosis. Homemade ORS, that is oral rehydration solution. 6 level teaspoons of sugar, half level teaspoon of salt and 1 liter of water. 5 cupfuls, each cup about 200 ml. Then we can make homemade ORS. Antacid. As acidity is a set of symptoms caused by excess production of acid by the gastric glands of a stomach. Your stomach naturally produces gastric or hydrochloric acid to help digest and break down food. Acidity is used arise when there is excess production of this acid due to dryness such as acidic food. When we have acidity or heartburn, we are administered a class of medicines known as antacid. There are actually weak bases. Most of the common antacids are sodium bicarbonate, calcium carbonate, magnesium hydroxide, magnesium carbonate, and aluminum hydroxide. The chemical reaction created when magnesium hydroxide neutralizes HCl in the stomach and intestine. Intestine. Antibiotics. Ages ago, there was a time where even a small infector can cause death in human beings. The discovery of antibiotics changed all. Now armed with antibiotics, many deadly infection diseases can be tackled, which one means to cause serious illness and death. After several days, when we returned back, he observed the growth of mold, common fungus, which grows on stable on a part of the petri dish. He also observed that there was no bacterial growth surrounding the mold, which indicated that something in the mold have prevented the growth of bacteria in the cultural uh, medium. On further research, Fleming identified that the mold juice was capable of killing a wide variety of harmful bacteria such as Streptococcus, Meningococcus, and diphtheria bacillus. Next, analgesics. Injury burn, pressure from sharp objects, and other conditions cause pain in our body. The unpleasant feeling may be burning sensation in the tissue around the injury, dropping headache or ache of orthocist, back pain, neck pain, joint pain, headaches, pain from nerve damage, pain from a injury, and pain related to diseases are some of the most common pains. The unpleasant emotion of pain is created in the brain and not at the spot of the injury. If the pain is severe, say from burn, reacting to the single from the brain, muscle pull, or hand from the fire. Reacting to the message received from the pain spot, the brain sends back messages that initiate a healing process. It can be triggered to release pain, supporting chemical and additional flow of additional white blood cells and platelets to help repair tissue and at any injury site. Antipyretic. In normal course, our body temperature is ranges from 98.4 to 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. When the temperature goes above this level, it is called fever. Most common cause of fever is infection. Bacteria and virus cannot thrive above a certain temperature. To defend the invading virus and bacteria, the immunity system increases the body temperature. Once infection is sensed, the immune system releases a chemical called pyrogen. These pyrogens released into bloodstream reaches the hypothalamus, present at the basal part of the brain. The function of hypothalamus is to control the body temperature. Sensing the um, pyro- pyrogens, hypothalamus increases the body temperature by releasing a chemical called prostaglandin. Next, antiseptic. Antiseptics are substances applied to the exterior of a body that kill or inhibit microbes and infective agents. Antiseptics can be effective agents, one or a combination of bacteria, fungi, viruses, or other microorganisms. Antihistamine. Antihistamines are defined as drugs that combat the histamine in the body that are used for treating allergic reaction and cold symptoms. Histamine is a chemical messenger involved in number of complex biological reactions. When a foreign body such as pollen enters the body, the immune system believes those substances to be harmful and generates the release of histamine. When histamine is released, it will interact with the histamine repeats on the cell surface or within a target cell and cause changes in the bodily function. This histamines many smooth muscles to contract, such as traction raunchy. Medicines. Medicines are used to treat the disease and to improve our health. நோய் நாடி நோய் முதல் நாடி அது தணிக்கும் வாய் நாடி வாய்ப்ப செயல் திருவள்ளுவர். There is a குறள், diagnose the disease and understand its seeds. Identify the cause and make sure it succeeds. The science or practice of the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of disease. There are many ways to intake the medicine. There are oral use, external use, and injection. The medicine we take treat our disease and lead us to a good health. Next, combustion. Can you guess what is common in rusting or iron, burning coal, and the flame of candle? They all undergo a chemical reaction known as combustion. Combustion is a chemical reaction that occurs in the presence of a fuel and a oxidizing agent that produces energy, usually in the form of heat and light. What we call as burning is really a combustion reaction. In fact, combustion is one of the first chemical reactions harnessed by humans. Any reaction that involves reaction with oxygen is called oxidation reaction. In the combustion of hydrocarbon with oxygen, typically carbon dioxide and water are produced. All combustion reactions are exothermic, that is, they released heat. Flame. Flame is a zone of combustions of a combustible substance. Substances which vapor during burning produce flames. Example, wax, kerosene, etc. Substances which do not vaporize during burning do not produce flames. For example, coal. The candle of flame has three main zones. They are the outer zone, the middle zone, and the inner zone. The outer zone, complete combustion of the fuel takes place and the color of the flame is blue and is the hottest part of the flame. It is the non-luminous part of the flame. Second, the middle of zone. Partial combustion of the fuel takes place in the color of the flame is yellow and is moderate hot part of the flame. It is the luminous part of the flame. Next, third one, the inner zone. There are abundant vapors of the fuel and the color is black and is least hot part. Types of combustion. There are three main types of combustion. They are rapid combustion. It is a combustion process in which a substance burns rapidly and produces heat and light with the help of external heat. For example, burning of LPG gas. Spontaneous combustion. Spontaneous combustion process in which a light without the help of external heat. For example, phosphorus burns spontaneously at room temperature. Third, explosion. It is a type of combustion in which a substance burns suddenly and produces heat, light, and sound with the help of heat or pressure. For example, explosion of crackers. So, combustions there are three types: rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, and explosion. Characteristics of good fuel: readily available, cheap, easy transport and store, burns at moderate rate, produce large amount of heat, do not leave behind any undesirable substances, and does not cause pollution. These are the characteristics of good fuel. Slow combustion. Slow combustion is a form of combustion which takes place at low temperature. Respiration is an example of slow combustion. The condition necessary for producing fire are fuel, air to supply oxygen, heat to raise the temperature of the fuel beyond its ignition temperature. Fire can be controlled by removing any one or more of these conditions. Fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher cut off the supply of air or bring down the temperature of the fuel or both and controls the fire. How do fire extinguishers work? Portable fire extinguishers apply an extinguishing agent that will either cool burning fuel, displace or remove oxygen, or stop the chemical reaction so fire cannot continue to burn. When the candle of an extinguisher is compressed, it opens an inner consists of high pressure gases forces the extinguishing agent from the main cylinder through a siphon tube and out the nozzle. The fire extinguisher works much like a can of hair spray. Types of fire extinguisher. The most common types of fire extinguishers are air pressurized water extinguishers, carbon dioxide extinguishers, dry chemical powder extinguishers. The different types of extinguishers tackle different types of fire. Class A fires. Combustible materials caused by flammable solids such as wood, paper, and fabric. Class B fires. Flammable liquids such as petrol, turpentine, or paint. Class C fires. Flammable gases like hydrogen, butane, or methane. Class D fires. Combustible metals, chemicals such as magnesium, aluminum, or potassium. Class E fires, typically a chip pan fire. Electrical fires, electrical equipment. Once the electrical item is removed, the fire changes class. Thank you, children. We have completed chemistry in daily life. Let's see the next